Hello, this is Margaret, and in this video we're going to be looking at the course project for week 4. You can see that on the screen right here I have our week 4 open, and we have the lessons, content, and assignments. When we go to assignments, we see that we have the written assignment, and then we have a discussion, and here is our course project. This week we're going to be looking at the cash flow statement. So you're going to use that same template that you've been using in weeks past, and if you remember, that looks like this. So with our different workbook pages at the bottom here, we have already, I have not, but this was just a blank copy, but you have already filled these in for the income statement. Make sure that you change the numbers here if I gave you corrections. And then for week 3, the balance sheet, make sure that you change these if you need to, because they will show up automatically here in the week 6 work that you will be doing, and you need those for week 6. This week, as I mentioned, we're doing week 4, which is the cash flow statement. And we have just a few items to list here to get off of the annual report, or the 10K, whichever one you're using. And then we have some questions. So let's just look here first at the line items. We need to do net earnings, and then we need to do cash provided from the different types of activities: operating, investing, financing. What was the increase in cash and cash equivalents? And then at the beginning of the year and the end of the year, very typical of what is on a cash flow statement. We go to our annual report, which you should have saved somewhere on your desktop already. And we're going to be using the information from the financial statements. It's also on the 10K report. You can see here that I have the annual report that's up here. What I like to do, if you haven't been doing it already, is to go ahead and use these little comment bracket or bubble. If you just click on it and then click where you want it to be, you can see here that I've commented this is where the cash flow statement is. And then when I just go ahead and click these things, here I'm back to all of my statements, and then here I'm to the cash flow. So I've marked major parts of this annual report. Let me just go ahead and show you a couple of examples. So here, up here, I put the MD&A, management discussion and analysis. And this, I've alluded to this or referred to this in some of your feedback. This is where the management gives their opinion of certain things. So they've given their opinion of the financial position and their risks and so forth that they would have. So this is important for you to look at to determine what management thinks about how they're doing. Okay, and so then I have the major statements marked here, and of course, we've been talking about the notes, and that's right after the financial statement. So I just have it marked, and then you can click on it and you can go to it and find it right away. I'm going to go back to cash flow right now. Okay, so you can see cash flow. All you're going to do is just grab the line items here. Here's net earnings, and then here's the net cash provided from operations and from investing activities is right here. And you can see if they're in parentheses, cash was used rather than provided. So just go ahead and grab those numbers. And then when you are looking at your spreadsheet, it says which method are we using, and we all know that when you have this cash flow statement start with net earnings, that means it's starting with the net income, which comes from the income statement, and we're using an indirect method there. So make sure you answer that question, which method, and why you know that that is true. Back to my spreadsheet. Sometimes it asks a couple of questions and it says what is the largest adjustment on that section. So that means you would have to go back, and if it's from operations here, you just look at like for instance the 2016 number, and you look at which one is the largest adjustment there, either positive or negative. And again, that is this whole section here. Okay, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. It's just basically asking you, did it increase or did it decrease, and is there enough cash provided from operations to cover the investing and the financing area? So are you generating enough cash from your operations in order to make investments and to give back to your shareholders in dividends? And oftentimes you would see that the cash is provided from operations but used in investments and in financing activities, because that's what you're using to generate your income, the investments, the financing, and so forth. Okay, but you want your operations to somewhat cover your investing and financing. So you can check that out in the textbook and see other information about what it gives you on that, and you can allude to that in your spreadsheet. The other thing that's in the spreadsheet, as you go down here, there is a part about the auditor's report, and it asks some very simple questions here. I think by reading that auditor's report, you should get those questions without any problem. But you do need to find the auditor's report first of all. So let me show you how to do that. Here's the cash flow statement, by the way, is on the annual report, page 30. You can start there. And then there's something called a management report on internal control over financial reporting. You'll want to read that. It's very short. It's on page 24. And then there's a letter here from the auditors, and that is on page 25. When I'm referring to pages, I'm referring to this number on the actual document itself. If you read through this information carefully, you will be able to answer all of the questions that are asked of you here on the spreadsheet. So then when you get done with this, filling out this spreadsheet, you're going to be saving it, and you're going to go back to the Dropbox area here, click on the project or the assignment, go ahead and submit it in the Dropbox here, and if you want to check the rubric, it's located right here. You can go ahead and click on it and view it, of course, before you submit, and that is what I return to you. So in this video then, we looked at the week 4 homework. If you have some questions, let me know. Thank you.